In this GeographyBurst video, you will be looking at the living world, an introduction to a small-scale ecosystem with links to our Wyre forest trip that we will be taking. Please use page 52 to 53 of your textbook to support this video. We will look at an introduction to keywords, components of a food chain and food web, a reference to the Wyre forest, and then an exam question. What are the key words? Firstly, abiotic components, those parts of the ecosystem that are non-living, for example the decomposers such as bacteria, or else the sunlight and atmospheric conditions in that ecosystem. Biotic components are living components. They are the producers such as plants and consumers such as animals who eat the plants, or secondary consumers are the animals who eat the primary consumers. Describe. Say what you see, what are the key facts you know, and outline them clearly. Producer, such as a leaf, will be eaten by the primary consumer, such as a grasshopper. The secondary consumers, such as sparrows, will eat the grasshopper, and the tertiary consumer, such as the sparrowhawk, will eat the secondary consumer, the sparrow. They will then decompose by the fungus and bacteria after they have been killed or are left rotting in the ground. These nutrients will be recycled back into the soil by the decomposer, such as fungus and bacteria. The cycle starts again. This is a food web, and a food chain will have more variance within the consumers and producers. The Wyre forest. The Wyre forest is a managed ecosystem. Therefore, it's unlikely to have many negatives associated with humans, whereas Kinveredge may have more negatives associated with humans. Likewise, you may be able to take a trip there on your own time and compare the two forests. But it still shows interactions, so that's why we still use the Wyre forest ecosystem. We want to have a look at the interactions between the abiotic components, such as sunlight and fungi, and the biotic components, such as plants and animals. You must be able to explain the links between the humans' impacts and the food chains, e.g. the link to star spots on sycamore leaves as lacking the fungus to grow due to pollution rates by humans. That is one link we will make when we get to the Wyre forest. You will need to be able to identify all the abiotic components and biotic components in that ecosystem as well. Explain. Say what you see plus why it is. Outline the reasons for these events. So in this question, we should describe and explain the features of a small-scale ecosystem. The small-scale ecosystem we studied, or will study, is the Wyre forest. It has abiotic components and biotic components working together, as every ecosystem does. Then you go on to explain. The biotic components include grasses and trees as producers, and grasshoppers, insects, as primary consumers, followed by the sparrows or birds and blue tits as secondary consumers, with sparrowhawks and foxes as the tertiary consumers, i.e. outlining a food web or a food chain. Finally, the abiotic components make up the end to this food chain or food web by fungus, decomposing the dead and decaying leftovers and recycling these materials back into the soil to aid the producers to grow again. That is the features of the small-scale ecosystem of the Wyre forest or any local ecosystem. Geography. Know your world.